So recently I went to not Bass Pro, Field and Stream in Victory, New York. This is a Field and Stream logo in there. I went to Field and Stream with my brother-in-law to grab a couple new lures that I thought I might need to use for like the spring and fall, because it's starting to get to the end of the bass fishing season where a lot of stuff goes on sale, so I can go buy the stuff I'll need for spring and fall. Just a couple things like this isn't really a big unboxing. It's not like a $200 Tackle Warehouse unboxing. It's just like I think it was like $26. This all the lures I got. Just a couple of things that I'm gonna need and just kind of like restocking. So let's get into it. So we'll start with the Yum Pumpkin Ed 2 jig heads. They're for fishing. They're for fishing shaky head rigs. I kind of forgot what I was gonna say there. They're pretty cool. I've never honestly thrown a shaky head because I always thought they weren't really for like waters around where I live. And I found a jig head the other day. Well, I actually bought a couple not too long ago through shaky heads around, and they did awesome. Like better than any finesse bait I've ever used. Like they did better than like Wacky Worms. This did better than a drop shot rig, which is kind of crazy. So, after those baits kind of wore out, like if you see that the jig head here, that would fall off, or the little screw with the pin there, that would break off, or the hook would just completely like fail or bend or something, because I didn't really buy any good grade hooks, and I got these, which were actually pretty expensive. They were $5 for 3 hooks, which is kind of crazy, but I wanted some that were going to last me a while, so yeah, that's kind of like a better image of the jig there. Pretty good. Really, really sharp hooks, too. So yeah, I will show you why I got these. Well, you already know why I got them, to do shaky head rigs, but what soft plastic I bought to do shaky heads. Okay, so the next lure is going to be Lunker Hunt Lipless Crankbait in bluegill shad color. So I have my lakes and ponds I fish have a ton of crayfish, bluegill, and shad and crappie too, which is pretty cool. So I tried to get something that matched that bait fish color there, and it's just a little Lunker Hunt Lipless Crankbait. And I was actually really amazed with not just this crankbait, but the weight of this crankbait. It's quite heavy actually. And the price. This originally retailed for around $5, and as you can see, there's a little Lunker Hunt there, but that retails around for $5, and I got this bait for $2. That was a crazy deal, so I'm so excited I got that. You can kind of see how it looks like a little bluegill there, or it can look like a shad. So that's the second lure. Third lure is a Booyah jig. Now this is just out of its package because I wanted to look at it. If you're wondering, there's a tag right there. But it's a little Booyah skipping normal jig, and it's a multi-purpose jig, so it can be skipped. You can fish it just slowly on rocks, or you can use it like a swim jig, which is pretty cool, what I found about it. So it's got a real small jig head, but it's pretty heavy. It's got black and blue, because all the other jigs I have, I actually don't have a black and blue jig, so I really need one. Pretty tough weed guard, actually, so I might be able to throw this other places I can't throw my other jigs. And I did not show you guys, but go in here real quick. They came with rattles. I actually took them off because they kind of looked a bit funky, but I have other jigs that didn't come with rattles that are made for rattles, so I probably will be using these on that. They're pretty cool, honestly. I mean, they're not like you put inside the head or anything. I've seen rattles like that, but they kind of like attach onto the outside with a rubber band that holds the skirt. So, come on. Yeah, they're pretty loud. So, next lure is Strike King buzzbait. Now, I needed a buzzbait extremely bad because my other buzzbait, if you want to look at it real quick, look at this thing. This thing is literally falling apart. Do you see that? That's bent, and the blade has fallen off multiple times, and it like randomly stops. And look at this. Like I'm not like I'm holding this still. That's freaking crazy. I could literally probably just pull this out of here. Not a very I have. It wasn't even really a really expensive buzzbait. It was like off-brand, and it was at a little tackle shop I was stopped at to get some gas with my friends or with my family. And I kind of saw it. I was like, hey, let me pick this up. I'm going to go fishing anyways. It was a piece of junk. So, I got this Strike King, see if you can see that better, Strike King buzzbait in kind of like a shad color. You can see the blade. It kind of looks like a little, if I hold it this way, if I hold it this way, it kind of looks like a shad with that stripe and the dot and the little red under the gill there. You can see that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm actually very impressed with this bait, because not a lot of spinnerbait companies come with jig trailers, only like KVD spinnerbaits and Strike King. So that's why I got one of these. It came with a little hook. If I said jig trailer, sorry about that. It came with a little hook trailer on there, and that the cap is still on there because I just got that today. It's not on the main hook, but it is on the trailer hook. It's got that little stopper on there. There's a better look at that. So yeah. And I have two more lures to show you. Yum Dingers. Now, what the? Yum Dingers. You guys know I love throwing Yum Dingers. And you can kind of see, if you can read that, what hook and stuff to use. Now, this is why I bought that shaky head. Because I bought the 4-inch Yum Dingers that are very, very, like, limber. They're not very tough like the 6-inch. Like I use the 6-inch and fish it like a trick worm, but this I don't because it's very, very like shaky. Like if you hold the head there, it's just gonna fall right to the side. It's very, very limber.
Who you talking to?
Myself. Sorry about that. My dad interrupted me. Okay, so we got that jig head here, and we have the dinger. So what we're gonna do, I love saying that, dinger. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to take the dinger and don't drop it. Take it, put it on there, and twist. You want to twist up there like that, and then lay your hook alongside it. Figure out where you want it to go in. Make sure it stays up. I've been having problems with it staying up. Yeah, there we go. So, hook this in the body. And there you go. You got your shaky head rig. You can see that a little bit better. Will the lighting work, please? Jeez. Okay, so yeah. There we go. You can kind of see that. It's got those eyes on the jig head. Very, very limber bait. It's hooked weedless on there. I just have it coming out barely. Sometimes I'll... Yeah, that's better. I'll kind of bury that hook back in there. Well, now it kind of looks retarded. So yeah, I'll just leave it like that. And it's a very, very cool bait. I love fishing shaky heads ever since I bought my first pack of jig heads. They've always been like one of my favorite really, really finesse baits. But last but most certainly not least, why won't this? Okay, I'm trying to say the Rage Tail Claws. I love Strike King baits. I love how they make almost everything from soft plastics all the way to buzzbaits and spinnerbaits, which is awesome. So I am a huge fan of the Rage Tails because they are longer than any, like, they got some length to them. So unlike any other crawbait, where I can't even stick like a dinky little hook through them, like a wacky hook, these are long enough I can throw them on a Texas rig. I can punch them around brush or weeds and stuff. I can catch some jungle fish. Or actually, this bait is probably the most versatile bait I've ever used. And the reason I say that is because I fished this I fished this on a weightless drop shot rig for smallmouth. I've never even fished a weightless drop shot rig with like a trick worm or anything, with no finesse worm. Yet this is the first bait I picked up, and I was like, you know what, let's try this. I was fishing a creek weightless drop shot. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's not like you have your hook and then like line with nothing at the end of it. It's just your hook and then basically a wacky hook, but you have it sticking out like up and out like this. You don't have it sticking out. You don't have it sticking out down. You have it sticking up like up. If I can do that, up. So then what I did is I just took like the end of it and like nose hooked it. Well, I guess you could say butt hooked it, and then just kind of like slowly fished it around. I was skipping it under trees and slowly fishing it, and I caught my PB that day. It was a 5.4 pound smallmouth. That was literally insane. I've never caught a smallmouth that big in my entire life. So if you've never seen a ridge-tail craw, if I can open them, I will show you what they look like. So, yes, I'm magic. I'm holding up all these craws together. No. They come in just a little hard package, which is what I like about them, so the baits don't become loose in the actual package. And if you can read that right there, yes, they are coffee scented. Strongest scent ever. And it doesn't even smell bad either. If you like coffee, then you're in luck. You might eat these, not the fish. Alright, here you go. That right there is a straight king rage craw. Now, as soon as you look at this bait, you're like, oh my god, that does not look like a craw. Well, you see those, you can't really tell, but there's eyes on there. It's got eyes on the other side, and it's got those little, I don't know what you want to call them, whiskers. And these claws make so much action, it's crazy. I fished this bait one time by reeling it in like a spinner bait, and killed largemouth. Like, they weren't even alive anymore. But yeah, like I said, I've taken this bait, flipped it, just plain Texas rigged it, weightless rigged it, shaky head rigged it. That's another way I like to fish beds with craws. Thrown it on the back of jigs, thrown it as a trailer on a little, I forget what I threw it on a trailer for. Chatterbait. I threw it on the trailer of a chatterbait, and it just worked. Absolutely amazing. I am extremely impressed with the ridge-tail craw. So, that's all I got from Field and Stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to know where I got these lures, what Field and Stream specifically, I will leave it down in the description, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video.